Mr. Morse.
Some of us find it disturbing that an alleged climate emergency claims that seems to underpin our local plan. The document dealing with the Council's carbon neutrality roadmap states the equivalent of the piece as being atmospheric carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions, etc. Few brief words about CO2. It is a trace gas currently making up 0.04% of our atmosphere. 96% of that is contributed by nature, not by man. It is at an extremely low level historically on the planet, which is not good news for the planet or for nature, by the way, since carbon dioxide is plant food in photosynthesis, and without it, not a single blade of grass would grow, nor the crops and foodstuffs, and not a single animal would live. There'd be no life on Earth. The climate has never been driven by CO2. On the contrary, CO2 levels in the atmosphere follow warming. They do not precede it or cause it. Your roadmap ignores all of this, and is presumably the basis on which planning decisions will be made, as it does the science, that there is no scientific evidence that there is no catastrophic global warming, let alone caused by CO2 or fossil fuels. For your information, the hottest decade of the last 100 years was the 1930s. You can verify that yourselves. Climate changes naturally all the time, and human activity is largely irrelevant. Normal human activity. On this showing, there's no justification for the economic and human cost that any push for carbon net zero will cause, and there are no realistic alternative technologies like wind and solar cannot even remotely substitute for hydrocarbon fuels, oil and gas. That is impossible. The roadmap also flags up favourably the creation of 15-minute cities, low traffic neighbourhoods and other measures restricting movement. These are potential threats to the livelihoods, well-being and ultimately even fundamental human liberties of the population. I would suggest to the Council that regardless of what government diktats, etc., may seem to impose upon, by way of the PINS requirements, etc., it is their duty not to follow this destructive delusion. It is their duty and their responsibility to do what is in our interest. Your responsibility is to us, not to the government, the authorities, the United Nations, the IPCC, or any dubious source of that kind. The responsibilities as individuals, matter of conscience for all of you, is to us, to our human rights, liberties, and genuine well-being. Thank you very much, Councillors.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morse. I think there are two schools of thought, and you obviously share a different one from the one that the City Council local plan holds at the current point. But thank you for your contribution. It's certainly worthwhile hearing.